Hello everyone, and welcome to your yoga practice today. Thank you for joining me for a quick 30-minute spicy flow. We'll get a little bit into the legs and a little bit into the core. But first, let's start standing inhaling deep into the stomach, expanding like you were blowing up a balloon, and exhaling, drawing that belly button back in, releasing all of this stagnant air and energy. Grounding through all four corners of the feet, just noticing how your body is feeling right now. Keeping the hands open as a symbol of acceptance to whatever you may receive with this practice. Maybe gently beginning to shake the neck, if that's comfortable for you, releasing some tension, or going into half neck circles, bringing left shoulder to left ear, rolling down, chin through chest, and right shoulder to right ear. Continuing with that conscious breath. When you're ready, maybe you'll take it into a full neck circle, reaching the crown of the head back, lifting the eyes up to the sky. Doing a few each direction. Pausing in any extra areas of tension and really breathing through those spots. Coming back to center, we'll take a few shoulder rolls. Inhaling, lifting up towards the ears, and exhaling, dropping back and behind. Continuing to breathe deeply into the belly, and when you're ready, taking those shoulder rolls the other way. You can also hold on to your shoulders while you're doing this, if that feels more comfortable for you. And then coming into a little bit of wrist mobility, getting out those little creaks, interlacing the fingers and kind of waving through, swirling through, whatever feels good and right for you today. Going through a quick shoulder stretch, interlocking your left arm with your right hand, stretching through that shoulder and switching. And then we'll get a quick tricep extension in, reaching back and connecting the fingers to one another. If you need to look at me for a moment to see. Getting some mobility through the shoulders and also a stretch through the triceps. Keeping that chest up, that chin up and open. And then we'll begin some hip rolls, working through again any areas of tightness, wiggling out, starting to warm up the body, prepare it for movement, and taking those circles the opposite way, connecting the movement with the breath. And then on an inhale, lifting the arms, exhale, pushing them back into chest expansion past the hips. Inhale, lifting up above overhead. Exhale, pushing down past the hips. Then we'll go into alternating movements with the arms. So one arm going up, one back, and switch the arms. Taking any final movement you need in the upper body, we'll go into a quick lower body warm up, bringing the knee up into chest, getting a stretch in that glute, maybe taking a few ankle rolls right here, grounding through that left foot, staying straight up, and then bringing that leg behind us for a quad stretch, reaching the foot towards the bum, holding with your hands behind your back. Releasing the right foot, maybe shaking it out a little bit, and then we'll switch into the left side, bringing that left knee up to the chest, rolling out the ankle, still staying with the breath, releasing in any areas that don't need to be tensed up right now, keeping integrity through the chest and the core, and then going for that quad stretch. Shake it all out, and we will come to the front of our mats. Inhale, hands to chest. On an exhale, bring your foot up into tree pose. Maybe at your calf, maybe up in your thigh area, or maybe you keep your toes on the ground by the ankle. Taking tree pose however you like, whether that means extending the hands overhead, keeping them at heart, maybe finding a bind. Sticking with the breath here, we'll slowly kick back into Warrior 3, really grounding through that left leg, extending the right leg out behind us, again keeping your hands at chest, or maybe you reach them out straight in front of you, rounding through all corners of that foot on the ground, taking some deep breaths, being conscious of your body, conscious of your breath. If you'd like here, you can add some pulses, dipping into that left leg and coming back up, sticking with the breath, keeping integrity of the posture. And then we'll drop that right foot back into a lunge, lifting the arms overhead. We're here for a moment, and then we'll move into Warrior 2. Taking a deep breath. On an exhale, coming back into that lunge. Extending through that front left leg, maybe bringing the back foot up a bit. We'll keep a straight spine as we bend into a halfway lift, pyramid pose. And slowly lifting that back leg up into Warrior 3 once again. Then we'll bring the right leg up and straight in front of us for a little bit of hamstring strength and a balance challenge. Sticking with the breath and slowly dropping down, wiggling it out, and we'll do that same flow on the left side. Inhaling, arms up, exhale into center. Lifting the left leg and taking your tree pose however feels right for you today. Taking some deep conscious breaths. Some intuitive movement. And then slowly grounding through the right foot, kicking the left foot back into Warrior 3. Taking some deep breaths, finding stillness in this pose. Keeping hands at heart or extending out in front of you. We'll hold for a few more moments and then option to take those pulses again on this side. Bending through the right knee, dropping and extending. And if you lose your balance, that's okay. Just meet us back. Dropping back into that forward lunge. Taking a couple breaths and then exhaling into our warrior two. Maybe lifting the hands up as a sign of release. Easing out the tension. And inhaling, we'll come back to that forward lunge. Exhaling, extending the legs and dropping into pyramid, maybe bringing that left foot up a little bit. Finding integrity through the spine and the core, we'll slowly start to lift that left leg back up into warrior three. And when you're ready, try keeping the legs straight and kicking all the way through until your leg is straight in front of you for that hamstring stretch. Or hamstring strengthening. Slowly release with control and wiggle it all out. Continuing this flow one more time with just a couple of additions. Inhaling your arms up, exhaling to chest. Finding tree pose here, or if you'd like, bringing your peace fingers to your big toe and extending your leg out to the side. Or finding any other pose that your body is kind of curious about. We'll meet back in warrior three. Keeping that whole body engaged. Pressing through the left leg, pushing out through the right, keeping the core tight, maybe holding the arms over with the head. Taking those pulses if you'd like. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping that right foot down, lifting into forward lunge. And maybe exhaling into a chest expansion. We'll meet in warrior 2. Option to put those hands up as a sign of release. Inhaling back to forward lunge. Exhaling into pyramid pose. Extending through the spine. Staying engaged through the core. Maybe you take hands to heart, or maybe you wrap hands around your back. Then we'll come back into warrior 3. And again, swinging that leg up and in front of you. Deep breaths into the belly. Maybe add some pulses here and release. Shaking it out and just one more flow on the left side here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to chest. Taking that tree pose, or again grabbing onto that left big toe with your peace fingers and extending the leg out to the side, allowing the breath to flow. We'll meet back in Warrior 3. Whenever you're ready, we'll go for 5 more pulses or more on this other side. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping that left foot back into a forward lunge. Exhaling, possibly opening the chest. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling into Warrior 2. Letting out a releasing breath. We'll meet back in forward lunge for just a moment before we bring that left leg up, straightening through the right leg, and going into our halfway bend pyramid pose. Finding a hand position that feels right for you. Meeting back in Warrior 3. And slowly coming back into our last quad hold. Maybe adding some pulses before we drop and wiggle it all out. Then we'll meet sideways on our mat for a little bit of goddess pose. Bringing those heels out past the hips slightly, toes externally rotated, and dropping down. Keeping your pelvic floor in line with your body, straight spine. Maybe bringing your arms out to goalpost and finding stillness or possibly some pulses here. You can also begin to lift one heel at a time, coming onto the balls of the feet for a little bit of calf work. Left, right, down, down, left, right, down, down, left, right, down, down. Sticking with that breath. Be mindful of where our body's at today, listening, maybe finding stillness. We'll take a quick break and then meet back down. Take a releasing exhale. Find some stillness for a moment. Feel into this pose, maybe bringing hands to chest, heart center. And if you'd like, once again, finding some small pulses. And maybe lifting up on those paws. This time we'll go right, left, down, down, right, left, down, down, right, left, down, down. Exhale, let it all out. Straighten through those legs. Take some deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Walking the feet in just a bit, and then coming down into yogi squat, using those elbows to press out through the knees. We'll be at the top of our mats. Maybe bringing hands down to earth and kind of stretching through those feet, moving side to side. And then we'll drop onto our bums, bringing the feet in front of us. We'll go into a little bit of boat pose, whatever variation you're at. So when you're ready, rolling those shoulders back, bringing the arms out in front of you, hands up, and finding a hinge, keeping the core engaged, spine straight. If you'd like, maybe lifting up one leg, maybe lifting up both. And if you're ready, extending through the legs, keeping that chest open, keeping that spine straight, integrity through the neck. Continuing to breathe. We'll bring the feet back to the earth and take a pause. And whenever you're ready, finding boat pose one more time, whatever variation you are ready for today. Deep breaths. Maybe find a little smile and dropping those feet back down. Bringing the palms of the feet together, the bottoms of the feet together. We'll find butterfly pose. Staying straight up, or if you'd like, leaning over towards your feet, keeping integrity through the spine. Sending breath into the stretch. Exhaling, releasing that tension. Deep belly breaths. Again, you can lift your palms face up here as a sign of releasing. Whatever you need to release today. Coming back up, we'll come into a little bit of a hip stretch, a little bit into the glutes, bringing opposite foot over opposite knee. So we'll go with the right side first, bringing that right foot over the left knee. The legs are stacked on one another. Hips should be square, and you might be feeling it here already, or you might want to lean forward a little bit. If this pose isn't accessible to you, you can also go ahead and lay on your back into a figure 4 stretch, bringing that opposite ankle over opposite knee, keeping the feet flexed, maybe opening those palms to face up. Deep releasing breaths. On your next exhale, coming back up and stretching legs. Letting go. Giving those muscles a moment to relax after working them. Then coming back up, sitting on the bum, legs out. We'll come into a little bit of hip mobility if you'd like, or maybe you stay on your back. Maybe holding that figure 4 a little bit longer. And if you're not already, we'll all meet down on our backs on the mat. Bringing the heels close to the fingertips. We'll lift the hips high into a little low bridge. Maybe you stay here, taking deep breaths, using those glutes, or maybe you interlace the fingers, bringing the shoulders back behind the back. Also the option to march, lifting one leg up and replacing it before lifting the other. Wherever you're at, taking deep breaths, mindful movement, or mindful rest. Whenever you need to take a rest, coming back down, preparing the body, and if you'd like, taking one more. Grounding through the heels of the feet, chest coming towards the chin, chin lifting to the sky. Deep, deep belly breaths, engagement through the lower body. Maybe taking that marching option again. Keeping the hips level every time you lift a leg. Keep holding, keep connecting to the breath, and release back to the mat. We'll hug our knees into chest, and then we'll extend our left leg out, keeping the right knee in towards the chest, maybe rolling out that ankle, and then extending the right leg, grabbing behind the thigh, maybe behind the calf, or maybe behind the ankle for a nice hamstring stretch. Maybe letting out an audible sigh. Maybe lifting the corners of the mouth just a little bit, remembering that moving our bodies is for fun. Seeing what they can do, what they're capable of. And when you're ready, switching legs, holding that left knee into chest, extending the right. And when you're ready, straightening through the left, getting that hamstring stretch. Releasing and hugging the knees into chest one more time. Now is a good time to maybe take a happy baby if you'd like. Or going straight into Shavasana, extending those legs out. Another great option, if you have a wall nearby, is laying with your legs straight up the wall. Tailbone at the baseboard. Wherever you're at, taking a couple more relieving sighs and falling into stillness for these last few minutes of practice. Softening through the face, through the jaw, the forehead, the neck, the chest, the stomach, the pelvis, the quads, glutes, knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Just taking notice of how your body is feeling, not putting any judgments on it, not attaching any feelings to it, just noticing. Beginning to wiggle through the toes and the fingers, rolling out the ankles and wrists, taking a full body stretch overhead. When you're ready, either staying here on your back or coming up into a seated position. Taking a moment to appreciate your body. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for taking care of yourself. Bye-bye.